upon that. So do you think that spending that much money, was it worth it at the end of the day, going to Princeton and having that experience?
For me, I would say like 1,000,000% worth it.
What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another Fire podcast. That is the way we start. We have our good friend Alex Pirola over here. Guys, number one, you need to know he's from Princeton, so he's a super smart boy. Probably as smart as Salman, because he also went to Purdue. They're both Salman and Alex.
I was about to say, I'm smart too, man. Like,
yeah.
What are you trying to get at?
I'm trying to get at that Alex might be a little bit smarter than you, bro. He's just a year younger than you. Let's see where he goes, bro.
Most people are.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. So Alex is a mechanical and an aerospace engineer at Princeton, or he's actually studying that shit. He's almost graduated. He's in the senior year. And yeah, that's what we're going to go off of. So Alex, before that, Salman, hit the
yes,
plug.
Guys, please like and subscribe.
Yeah.
It's usually Saad that says this, but this time I'm saying it, so you guys got to actually do it to show who y'all like more. Me, obviously. So hit those buttons, and we'll bring you lots of great content like this. So now, on to you, Alex. How are you doing, and what all have you been up to?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate you reaching out. What have I been up to? I mean, not much. This summer has been pretty stagnant, I would say, all things considered. But I
Alex,
did get the
straight
opportunity.
Straight up. It doesn't matter if you didn't get an internship or you didn't do shit. Dude, there's people who lost their fucking jobs, dude. You're all good, man.
I know.
You're all good
yeah.
COVID.
Like, really puts things in perspective. Like, I remember in the beginning of the summer when they were like, oh, your internship is probably going to be virtual or remote, and I was like bummed out about that. But I was like, in the grand scheme of things, like, businesses are literally dying. There are worse things that could be happening. Like, people's parents are like out of work, and like, it was not everything that happened to me was like an inconvenience, but it like was not ultimately a tragedy. So definitely super grateful for the position that I was in this summer.
So do you still get to do your internship remotely?
Yeah, so I was still able to do my internship remotely. Most of it was like in person, because they were able to rent out their office in New York City was closed, but they were able to rent out a warehouse space that a few people on the hardware team went to like a few days a week. So it was nice. I still got like that social atmosphere, even if it was just with a few people at the company. I definitely did not meet, like, it's a small company. It was like 30 people. I probably know like 10 of them. It was like weird saying goodbye to everyone on the last day. Thank you for your hard work. I'm like, what's your name?
I'm curious to know, in the US, do you guys get paid for internships?
Yeah, dude, we get paid well.
Yeah.
Right?
I got paid. It's like a flat, I don't know, did you have a, I didn't have a wage. Like, I had an
hourly. No, so most people I know got $20 to $40 an hour.
Oh, that's
and
beast.
then living expenses were covered on top. Like, I got housing on top of that.
Better.
It was good.
That's
great.
Dude,
I was in Houston, which is a cheap place to live.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, compared to like a lot of the other places where tech companies tend to be.
A lot of other like big cities.
I'm just so jealous over here. You guys are making money. I have an internship starting Monday. I'm pretty sure I'm not getting paid jack. Like zero. I'm pretty sure.
Yo, dude, no.
What's your internship?
It's at an architectural office over here in Pakistan.
Architecture?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
I had no idea you're in Pakistan right now.
Yeah. So he's in Chicago.
Pakistan.
I'm in Pakistan. We're both from Pakistan. So that's how we do.
And that's also why we're the Two Time Zones podcast. Because we're in
we're in the two
different
different fucking time zones. Makes sense,
so
right?
Yeah, right? No. What time is it for you, Saad?
It's 12:30 a.m. What time is it for you?
It's 3:35.
Yeah. So it's like around a few hours, like 18 hours, 15, however many.
Did you live in the U.S. ever?
Me? No.
No?
Mm-mm.
How'd you guys meet? You're from Pakistan.
Oh yeah, we went to school together.
I've known this guy since I was in school, like since I was J-High. I've been dealing with his ass since then.
You're still in J-High, Saad.
I still am. How tall are you, Alex?
I don't think he's grown in since I met him.
I'm 5'10" and 3/4.
Yeah. I could tell that you were a little bit tall.
3
I
quarters.
wish I could break into that.
Very
I wish
specific.
I could break into that 5'11". Yeah, I know.
5'11",
Because
bro.
if I say 5'11", I feel like I'm cheating people.
Yeah.
So, but
just
I
grow
wish
your
I could
hair
just
out,
break
dude.
into that 5.
Just grow your hair out,
Yeah.
bro. A little bit up.
Dude,
I'd blow dry
that
it.
shit makes a difference.
Like yours,
Trust
thought
me.
I can get another like 2 inches if I do it like you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Alex.
Well,
Now onto the topics that I want to talk about. So you're
Yeah,
studying
let's
at
go.
Princeton, and because of COVID, a lot of these universities are going to be going online for the next year, maybe even 2 years. All right.
Oh, that's
And
a long time. I'd say like the next
No.
semester. Probably.
Dude, no,
2.
no. Cambridge University is going online for the next 2 years.
2
So is
years?
Oxford.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
aggressive. I think most people haven't committed to 2 years. I think most people haven't even committed to like a full year online. I think most
I'm just
people-
saying-
My university is Purdue is in person right now.
Yeah, a lot of them aren't. I think what happened is like smaller schools, like I think had more financial pressure to be in person because you need to collect that like room
Money.
and board and dining
Yeah.
money.
I mean,
Yeah.
Money.
I don't know.
And-
Purdue's got like 40,000 kids. It's not a great number of people to have in person. And I know like a lot
No,
of it's hybrid.
it's a
but
ticking time bomb.
yeah, our president of our university, I believe he said that if you guys are concerned about coming to campus, then maybe the school isn't for you.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck? That is like.
That's not the stupidest thing I've heard. Honestly speaking, that's not the stupidest
Yeah.
thing I've heard.
It was
I'm
so
Pakistan over here.
aggressive,
I
man.
I hear stupid shit. I hear stupid shit all the time.
That's not the stupidest. That's pretty dumb. I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
don't
if he
quote me
said,
on this.
"You're welcome to
'cause
stay
I can't
home."
find
If
the
he said,
quote,
like,
but like,
okay. If you're
Oh,
uncomfortable,
dude.
stay home. I've heard that, which I
Cancel
still
his
think is like,
degree.
a little bit aggressive.
Cancel his
Yeah.
degree. Purdue president cancels someone's degree.
dude, no, they sent me 2 degrees for whatever reason. I don't know why. So even if they cancel
Yeah.
one, I'm good.
You got an extra copy?
Yeah, they
he
just sent
does.
me
Yeah,
2.
I
If you don't get yours, just let me know. I'll send it over to you.
All right, yeah.
Just change your legal name, dude. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Not a big deal.
Wait, dude, we're going off on such a
Oh,
weird
I'm
tangent.
sorry.
Alex,
I'm sorry, Simon.
Alex,
I know you
Alex,
want to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
something.
So, how much are you paying a year to Princeton?
Or well, the average student pays
50K?
scholarships aside.
40K? Are you
It's
paying?
a good.
Are you on a
it's a good
scholarship?
50K a year for.
I'm not on a scholarship and I'm not on financial aid either.
So how much are you paying? So 50K, right?
Yeah.
That's
So he's paying 50K a year. Do you think that amount is worth it for online classes? Like we've already discussed this. Like expand upon that answer.
Mhm. So if I were paying for like fully online school, I would never pay 50,000. Like that's garbage.
Mm-hmm.
But like kind of what Salman was saying before, like it's my senior year. I have 1 year left. It's different than if I were just starting and I were gonna have 4 years. Like if I were starting as a first year coming to college right now, there's
You
no
deferred.
if I could,
You deferred.
if I had the
Mhm.
ability to defer based on like my circumstances, I would 100% do that.
What if you
I
were
would
in like
never
second
start
year or
school
third
like
year?
this.
What if you were in like second year or third year?
I would still delay.
You would still
The
delay,
only
okay.
reason the only reason that made me like, because I grappled with this decision, like only main reason I decided to go back my senior year, is because like I don't want to be a 5th year senior on campus where like all my friends have. If you have 1 year
Gone.
left and you're a senior, you're not really making new friends because you kind of have one foot out the door
Yeah.
already.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were a sophomore, like, or I were even going into my junior year, I have half of my college career left. Like, I would still make new friends. So I would, like, embrace that, I think, and, like, do that. But as a senior, I think it wouldn't have been fulfilling socially. I'd rather be in it together, like, with my group of friends right now.
I see.
Okay.
And
that's true. Friends are
that
worth
is
it.
true. That is true. But here's the
100%.
thing. I want to expand upon more things. Do you think going to Princeton was a good experience and a worth it experience, considering you're going to be paying around about 200K, 250K total, all things considered? Do you think it was a worth it experience spending almost $250,000 going to Princeton at the end of the day when you're coming out with a degree? Dude, it's an important question upon that. So do you think that spending that much money, was it worth it at the end of the day going to Princeton and having that experience?
For me, I would say like 1,000,000% worth it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if my experience would have been the same if I had done anything differently, or if I had gone to a different school or whatnot. But like in my own lived experience, it has been so amazing. to be at Princeton and to have met the people that I've met and been challenged in ways that I did not expect to be challenged.
Really?
And yeah, I think like I said, because it is like a lot of money, and it is, everybody talks about my first year, because you mentioned YouTube, like, oh, it's all online, like, why don't you? My first year, like, I almost exclusively learned from YouTube, like for my math, physics, my computer science courses, like, and I had that same like
same here,
dissonance.
bro.
I was like, why the fuck am I?
Yeah,
this is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why do I even have like this fancy, Nobel Prize winning professor? Or who cares about that if they're not even going to teach me what I like need to know, right?
Exactly.
So that's when I was like, okay, I need to resolve this dissonance, and for me that came when I shifted, like. I thought of it in a different way, like what I was getting out of college, and it wasn't really like, the academics have been challenging and I've learned a lot, but that's not, I don't think, like the selling point for me. Like we were saying, I think it's really like
the relationships.
And everybody said, yeah. When you're like touring the school, people said this, like, oh, it's the people, and you're like, shut the fuck up, like, that's so cheesy. Everybody probably says that.
Yeah.
But like it's true, and I've become one of those that same person that's like, no, really, it's the people.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, Alex, there's going to be some kid watching this who's, he's probably thinking about
college shut the
right
fuck up.
now. And yeah, he's going to hear this say this, and he's going to like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. It's not the people.
Dude, I was that kid. Yeah.
It's one of those things you just don't believe, like, not until way after.
You have to live it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But like, I would never trade my experience.
Interesting.
So...
Dude, that is really, really cool. So, do you think college is necessary now in order to succeed? Like, let's say 30 years ago it was necessary. Do you think that you need to go to college today to succeed?
Were you saying 30 years ago it was necessary or it wasn't?
Like 30 years ago, you had a lot of people who were being barriers to entry. There were a lot of gatekeepers in the system. Now because of the internet, now because generally the world is a lot smaller place now. There are a lot more opportunities. 30 years ago, this wasn't available. So you needed college. You needed those relationships to begin with to get into anywhere. Now you might not necessarily need those relationships. You might meet a guy from Pakistan on a fucking podcast who might help you out, or vice versa. But like there's so many opportunities in the system now. So do you think that it's important to go to college in today's day and age?
That's a good question. I would say it's different for everybody, and it's based on like what you want to do. Like if you're interested in academia and you want to be a professor, like you need to go to college.
Dude,
right? If you want,
those are given. Lawyer, doctor, engineer, academia. Right. Dude, those are given. I'm talking about the people who want to do art.
So what specifically are you asking about? Do you need to go to college to be happy or to be successful in your own version of what successful means? No.
Do you need to go to college to get a $60,000 job, $80,000 job, $100,000 job?
I think it
generally
really
60,000. No.
Right?
No.
No.
60,000.
Well, it also depends on what the job is, right? Like I could see you, like if you're good at business, and if you like instead of going to college, if you maybe work with your family or with someone else on starting up like an actual business or running something, if you put in like the blood, sweat, and tears into actually growing as a person, not even because you want to, but maybe because you're in a situation where you have to work to get by, that experience that's the type of experience that people go to college for, right? To learn those skills. So at that point, you're teaching yourself and you're becoming as skilled as a college graduate, and that's where you can really succeed. But at the same time, if you're trying to be like an aerospace engineer, there's no way in hell you're designing a plane or a space shuttle without like formal education.
Yeah, dude. For that shit, you need licenses. You need an actual degree to even qualify for a job, dude. That's a separate case altogether. But like, I feel like we've touched on that.
I think your ceiling is limited unless you have like really significant access to really mentors, like people who can
really
connect you with the right people. And
that's an interesting point of view.
Like you need to develop and hone your skills somehow. I think experience is the best way to do that. But I can envision you getting stuck or plateauing if you don't have somebody to help get you to the next level and break through different barriers.
But now,
right?
Alex,
I do think that college.
Continue. No, you go ahead.
No,
you finish your.
I was going to say that I think college is like, it feels like the default option. Like I think a lot of people go to college and don't really question like why am I doing this? Like,
Yeah.
Is this just what's expected of me?
Exactly.
I think it takes a lot of awareness and also like courage to say this, college might not actually be the best route for me based on like what I want to do, and I think I can get there without it, so I'm going to pursue some other avenue. But you definitely have way less scaffolding and much less precedence in guiding you to where you want to be.
I see.
So I think it depends, but
it's also risky, right? You're going against the tide.
Yeah, exactly. But that's like, it pays off or it doesn't. Like really successful people, they did something differently, right? Like if you want, otherwise everybody would be Bill Gates or everybody would be Jeff Bezos. So
but also,
like, they at some point along the way they diverged. So then,
But I'm sure for every successful person, there's a ton who diverged and didn't get anywhere at all, right? And it's not to say that you should diverge, but I think the idea is that it's a risk, and you have to really know what you're doing. And I think
you have to own that risk.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, or if you're not comfortable, college is a really great place to start out. And even if you know what you're doing, it's a great place to pursue your goals. I've seen people in specific majors that have like 4 or 5 people all together in that major, but they know what they want to do and they're doing it, and that's beautiful. I did not know what I was doing when I started college. Like,
However,
I'm in mechanical engineering now, but before I was like, I have no idea. I started as just like general engineering, and like I built my way up. So college helped.
There's something to be said for that too.
But however, I'm going to expand upon both of your points over here. However, if you genuinely feel like college is not the option for you, please think about your choice and think about what you're going to do, and just go and do something else. You can take a year off. You can take 2 years off. Nobody's going to give a fuck. At the end of the day, I don't know about you, Alex, but I was fucking scared when I took a year off. And now looking back, I was like, I wish I took another year off. I could have figured out my shit even more. But yeah, guys, take a year off, figure your stuff out. And also, I don't know if you know this, Alex. Apple, Tesla, Google, they all come up with statements that they're all saying they don't need college degrees anymore to apply to their companies anymore. So that's another big thing that has opened up for a lot of people, that people who couldn't afford to go to college, they can now, apply to those jobs which were previously, guarded with degrees.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think that's good. Like, if you want to get the best people, right? Like, it doesn't matter where they come from. At the end of the day, engineering is about what you can do. And so if you can see if somebody's qualified, regardless of what their background is, like, hire them. I want that person on my team.
Exactly.
I love how this went from like just an average episode to a mix of like just a social commentary on the current state of education and the world as a whole. But it's always good to see like fresh perspectives, Alex, and that was really cool to hear from you.
College should also be fucking way less expensive. Like,
dude,
that's not. We didn't really get to say that.
College, healthcare, both of them.
Crazy. Like I think if I did my master's degree in engineering or something.
Let me Google how many $1 billion in endowment Princeton has.
I think it's 40.
It's around 40, right? Like around near Harvard, and dude, $40 billion in endowments. Dude, they can easily chop your tuition fee in half, and it wouldn't even put a dent into your into their revenue stream. Like, dude, insane numbers. It's just become a business now. Simple as that.
Yeah, well, higher education is like I'm very passionate about. One of the things I'm passionate about is like mentorship and teaching. And I was thinking also education is something I'm really passionate about. It's not necessarily something that I would want to go into right out of school, but it's something I could see myself like later in my life, like later in my career, like getting.
Would you send your kids to college 20 years down the line? Will you send your kids to college 20, 25 years down the line?
I think you gotta like let them decide, right?
That they go to college. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't mandate that they go to college, but I think chances are that they would want to. Probably growing up in a household with like people that had a formal education. I feel like that even if I don't explicitly put those pressures on them, I think there will be like an implicit suggestion in their mind that but I would encourage them to be thoughtful about if they want to go, period, and then like where, like picking the right school and not just picking the school that is the most flashy or like has the lowest acceptance rate. Like that's
that's kind of stupid.
Yeah,
dude, like I'm gonna just shit on this university. I'm straight up. Everybody from our school went to Florida Tech, what was it called? Florida Tech, Salman? Like almost
Wait,
everybody.
what?
Almost everybody from our batch went to fucking Florida Tech. Like everybody
Was it
applied there, had like
Florida?
the
I think
lowest
it was-
acceptance rate. They'll accept
wasn't
anybody.
Don't accept anybody.
Dude, it was Florida Tech, bro. Everybody applied. It was like the hip thing back then to apply to just to get in.
I didn't hear about this one, but also I
Dude,
had no
Florida
clue what I
Tech.
was doing when I applied to colleges. I didn't
Well,
know
Simon,
what
I'm
Purdue
actually
was when
really
I
curious.
applied.
Well, I'm curious. Yeah, like you said, you went to high school in Pakistan,
Yeah.
and you went. I mean, did kids from your school like wasn't it an international school? That
You-
like
you
why
could
did
say
you
it
know
was-
go
it was on
abroad
that.
for?
Everybody
mean-
in our batch was encouraged to apply abroad to different countries, whether it be Europe,
Yeah,
UK, US,
like
Australia, anywhere.
Australia, Canada.
But everybody applied to the US for some fucking reason.
It's an easy place to go to, get some experience,
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah.
But no, I applied to Purdue. I didn't know what it was. I never even Googled the school. I had like a bunch of like big names on my list of places with low acceptance rates, and my counselor was like, "Hey, you should apply to like a safety school." I was like, "I don't know any." He was like, "Apply to Purdue," and I was like, "Sure." And I ended up going there.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, dude, it was a better school than a lot of the places I applied to.
Yeah.
So I was really happy about that.
Just for context, Alex, Salman and I applied to Purdue at the same time. We were on call. He's like, I've sent my application, but I've sent it too. And then we also opened it up at the same time. He's like, dude, I got in. I'm like, okay, great. Let me check mine. Waiting list. I'm like, fuck, I'm not getting in. I was like, there's no way in hell. Because it was a public school, bro. It was very hot, and it's one of the best engineering schools in the country. So I was like, no.
Yeah, dude, those like the rankings are just off the charts, and it was a great place to meet people. I'm definitely very Midwest centric in that I know a lot of people working in companies in like Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, but I mean I know people working at all these big ass companies, and it's great because like Purdue's been a great place to form those connections.
Mm-hmm. God damn. And on that bombshell, guys, thank you so much, Alex, for joining us. Dude, I told you time would fly by. 20 minutes went by.
Oh
Like that.
wow, yeah, that was fast.
Yeah, thank you. And guys, hit the like and subscribe button. Do watch this episode to the end. And yeah, we're done. Peace. Adios. Goodbye.